Before we start the show, we want to take a minute to give our sister university, Texas A&M Commerce, our support and condolences for the tragedy that happened on campus a few days ago that took 2 lives. We spoke to the students to find out their awareness of the coronavirus outbreak. The university hosted a preventative human trafficking panel. Find out how you can keep yourself and others safe. Are you ready for a sunny weekend? We will bring you the latest updates. Welcome to Enlace. I am Jewelz Pope, bringing you the latest in campus and San Antonio news. Have you seen the feral hogs on campus? Oziel Treviño tells us what we need to know to keep safe around them.
If you walk to the parking lot late at night and notice some creatures running around the grass, you might be coming across a group of feral hogs. One can be dangerous, but a group is deadly, and this has prompted the university officials to bring in hog catchers to find and humanely trap and relocate feral hogs off campus. This past December, the A&M San Antonio community shared their concerns and notified the university officials of a group of feral hogs on parking lot 2 and 3. We spoke to the executive director of operations, Trevor Little, last week, who shared some insight on how the university deals with feral hogs.
An invasive species. Feral hogs are not native to Texas. We are constantly working with everything that is going on within the city of San Antonio and Bexar County and the Texas Department of Wildlife to find solutions.
The Department of Business Affairs works closely with the Marketing and Communications Department to inform the A&M community about the ongoing issue. These are some tips to keep you safe from wildlife on campus. 1. Be aware of your surroundings when going to the parking lot or going around campus. 2. If you don't feel safe, leave the area and then contact campus police at the non-emergency number. 3. Wildlife views humans as a threat. Therefore, it is crucial you don't approach them. Wildlife will always be around our campus, so it's best practice to be aware and to notify campus officials of any feral hog activity. For reporting from Texas A&M University-San Antonio, I'm Oziel Treviño, Enlace.
San Antonio. So thank you so much for the warm reception. I really, truly appreciate it. Gracias.
The university started the month of February with 2 milestones. On Monday, the 3rd, the Texas A&M student San Antonio welcomes Dr. Mari Fuentes Martin, new Vice President of Student Success and Engagement at the event. Dr. Fuentes got to meet students and staff to share her goals for the university. When we come back, Betsy Calderon has a report on the coronavirus outbreak. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Oziel Treviño tells us why the copper doors are still on both sides of the building in cab.
The new glass doors slide wide open in the Central Academic Building to welcome visitors after months of issues with the original doors malfunctioning. This caused concern for students on campus. We had the opportunity to talk to Miguel Castro, a senior political science major, who told us what it was like to enter cab when the copper doors did not work.
Caused them to not open properly, not automatically the way they were supposed to. So, and there were a few times that I got stuck in between the doors, trying to get out because they malfunctioned.
Last November, the Mesquite issued an article about the copper doors being out of order. The Department of Business Affairs says the copper doors weren't designed to allow a lot of foot traffic, which caused the issue. This had gone on for way too long for Miguel and the rest of the A&M community.
I appreciate that the university realized that these doors were an issue, but they had prior to. Because honestly, these doors were very heavy, the copper doors were very heavy, and it affected a lot of people.
The Department of Business Affairs said the copper doors are not gone completely. They will stand strong on both sides of cab for the purpose of representing the overall design of the university. Only time will tell how the new sliding doors will hold up with every person entering and leaving. But at least for now, students and the A&M community have easy access to both sides of the Central Academic Building. Reporting from Texas A&M University-San Antonio, I'm Oziel Treviño, Enlace.
Betsy Calderon tells us what precautions to take to prevent having a coronavirus.
The novel 2019 coronavirus has the world on alert. The World Health Organization has declared a global emergency. We asked the people in the A&M San Antonio community what they know about the virus and what measures they are taking to protect themselves.
I know that it's originated in China and it's spreading rapidly and people are dying from it. I just, wash my hands daily when I interact with customers. I work in a pharmacy, so we're constantly washing our hands, and that's about it.
More than 20,000 confirmed cases and at least 427 deaths worldwide. 11 of those are confirmed cases in the U.S. This new deadly virus has spread to at least 20 countries, causing flu-like symptoms such as fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Denise Covell, infection preventionist, tells us more about this harmful virus.
Son iguales de la influenza, que tiene como gripa, que tiene la tos, tiene temperatura, son casi iguales. So, es muy importante para preguntar si la gente viaja afuera del país, especialmente a China. So, la más importante que una persona puede hacer es cubre su tos y también lávese las manos, porque como es una virus no hay medicinas para los virus para cuidarlo.
If you're feeling flu-like symptoms, rush to seek medical attention as soon as possible to get diagnosed. We asked school officials for a statement of whether the university is prepared for a coronavirus outbreak, but we are waiting for a reply. I'm Betsy Calderon, Enlace.
Vivian Serna gives us a preview of the upcoming forecast.
Thank you so much, Jewelz. Now let's jump right into the current temperatures. Currently, San Antonio is sitting at 71 degrees. Over at Fredericksburg and Junction, we have 60 degrees. And as we move over to Columbus, it's at 69 degrees, and Giddings is at 72 degrees. As we move on to Saturday, San Antonio is going to be at 68 degrees by 5:30 p.m. Junction is going to be 70 degrees. Rock Springs, 68 degrees. And let's move on to the extended forecast. For Saturday, we're going to see some sunny skies, so please take advantage of the sunny day. But as we move over to the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to expect some rain with highs of 60% chance of rain. With Monday, 65 degrees, Tuesday, 58 degrees. But by Thursday and Friday, we're going to see some sunny skies. So be sure to keep those jackets in hand. Thank you so much, and now back to you, Jewelz.
Thank you so much, Vivian, on that update. The university hosted a panel to spread awareness on human trafficking in South Texas. Armando Villarreal brings us more on this event.
Texas A&M University-San Antonio hosted a South Texas human trafficking prevention panel inside the auditorium on January 30th. The panel was formed to shed light on what is human trafficking, how it affects the community, and everyday living.
It's not a position of helplessness, but a position of power, especially empowerment to those that are most defenseless, those that are trapped in this web of human trafficking. And something that, we can do something about by working together as a community.
More than 100 students, faculty, and staff learned what are the signs to look for in public and how to report it.
Students are involved, they're advocating, they're empowering, we want to make sure everyone's aware of this is a really terrible problem, human trafficking all over. And San Antonio, unfortunately, has also been victim to the human trafficking. And I'm proud that there's been so many students that are obviously interested in this issue and are going to take part in advocating against it.
According to a research by the University of Texas at Austin, 313,000 people are currently victims of human trafficking in Texas. 234,000 are victims of labor trafficking, and 79,000 minors and youth are victims of sex trafficking in Texas.
There are people that have lived it. There's people just like myself everywhere that is doing the best that they can to try to reach out to this community, to reach out not just for the people that have been trafficked or exploited or abused in some way, but to other people also, so that they are educated on the fact and that they know that they can take the matter into their hands.
If the conduct you observe is an emergency, call 911 and tell them you believe that you observed human trafficking. Don't worry about being wrong. Your call may be that one call that saves a life. If it's not an emergency or you need to remain anonymous, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-3737-888. I'm Armando Villarreal. Enlace.
That's what's important. Us as a community.
We now go to Oziel Treviño, who tells us about the issues happening in Texas with public education.
When it comes to funding for public schools, the state of Texas is ranked less than most other states in the nation. This means across Texas, most public schools aren't getting enough funding to pay teachers and to have the resources needed for the classroom. Funding and other issues such as accountability, testing, teacher prep requirements, these were the issues discussed at the forum last week in the auditorium of Texas A&M San Antonio. 3 out of the 5 candidates that attended had the chance to talk about the issues. One candidate, Roland Gutierrez, told us about his plans for education.
Pre-K is at the heart of my plan. It's at the heart of the things that we talk about on a daily basis.
You can learn more about them on this website listed above. The primary elections are on March 3rd for Senate District 19. This organization, Raise Your Hand Texas, supports public education, and at the forum, the idea was to bring our lawmakers together to talk about the issues at A&M San Antonio. We spoke to Chris O'Neill, who is a fellow advocate for Raise Your Hand Texas. She has been an educator for more than 24 years. Chris O'Neill is also a principal at Cibolo Creek Elementary School in Bernie ISD, where she faces these issues firsthand.
One of the biggest eye-openers for me, you read about it, you hear about the inequities within our schools, and inequities occur both ways, both in Bernie and both, in San Antonio schools. And so we need to even the playing field. We need to really look at the important issues that affect all kids and look at those inequities that we're creating through the decisions we're making in Austin.
Chris O'Neill also talks about the importance of being informed with voting.
You're not just going out and voting, but you're getting your information prior to making the decisions, prior to going to the polls.
Chris O'Neill says the goal is to be 25th in the nation to be fully funded in public schools in Texas by the year of 2025. For reporting from San Antonio, Texas, I'm Oziel Treviño, Enlace.
The start of the spring semester at Texas A&M University-San Antonio means a new season for the Jaguar club sports. We look into women's soccer club to see how this year is going.
Buenas, los saluda Alejandro Diaz y bienvenidos a Jaguar Sports, como siempre trayéndoles lo mejor del deporte en esta semana. Arrancamos con lo vivido en Miami, donde se llevó a cabo el tan esperado Super Bowl 54. Nos vamos pues al Hard Rock Stadium, donde Jimmy Garoppolo y la defensa de San Francisco llegaban para tratar de frenar la ofensiva liderada por Patrick Mahomes. Pero fue justo Mahomes quien se robó el show tras liderar una furiosa remontada cuando faltaban poco más de 6 minutos en el partido. Aquí vemos a Tyreek Hill en el último cuarto, precisamente con una de las grandes jugadas que llevó a Kansas City a remontar el marcador. La pass interference con Travis Kelce, que con esa jugada lograron marcar el descuento 20-17. Ahí vemos Travis Kelce celebrando para los Kansas City Chiefs. Al final, Mahomes se llevó el premio al jugador más valioso del juego y los Chiefs ganaron el segundo Super Bowl de su historia. Pasamos ahora a la acción de la NBA con los San Antonio Spurs, que jugaron su segundo juego de la gira del rodeo. Tras caer el lunes contra los Clippers de Los Ángeles, la escuadra de la Ciudad del Álamo se midió contra los Lakers de LeBron James y compañía. Y ahí tenemos la acción en el Staples Center de Los Ángeles. Patty Mills era quien hacía el disparo y DeMar DeRozan llegaba al tablero para 2 buenos puntos para los Spurs. Nuevamente DeMar DeRozan con el Aero Step y 2 puntos más para los Spurs. Desafortunadamente terminó con 28 puntos que no fueron suficientes para evitar la derrota y al final los Lakers se llevaron el triunfo con marcador de 129-102. Pasamos la página y es que con el inicio de un nuevo semestre en la Universidad de Texas A&M San Antonio, empieza también una nueva temporada para los Jaguar Club Sports. Nuestro reportero Cristian Rodríguez estuvo con el equipo femenino de fútbol para saber cuáles son las expectativas para este año.
Physical activity, wellness, personal development, socialization, and growth are the key points the Jaguar women's soccer team are benefiting from this semester. One player said that great teamwork and forming good chemistry will be the key to having a successful year.
The season, I think, has been going really great, especially since this year we got more girls from the previous years, well, from what I've heard. And I guess like throughout the games, each game we feel a little bit more confident, like everybody knows each other, so we know how to communicate much better. I guess the benefits would be having, that great bond with your teammates, like they help you whenever you need help, and if they see that you're struggling with something, they'll just come, they'll teach you as well, and they'll make time as well.
Club soccer has helped another freshman meet new people and build relationships with teammates.
I've made so many friends doing this, and it's definitely a good way to meet new people and establish friendships with other students.
Women's Soccer Club President Nikki Gonzalez shares her enjoyment of watching the girls progress this year.
It's definitely the girls, and it's also a really good way to stay in shape. And we're not crazy competitive or, really intense. We don't get mad at each other like, really competitive soccer teams do. We all kind of just have fun. I mean, really, we're kind of out here because we love soccer and we want to work out, I guess.
The women gear up for a match on February 29th against Northwest Vista College with time to be determined. I'm Christian Rodriguez, Enlace.
Thank you, Christian, and hopefully the women's soccer team will do great this new season. So today I'm here joined by Marshall Best. He's a communication student at our school, Texas A&M San Antonio, and we're going to be talking about a little bit about the Super Bowl 54 that just happened in Miami. How are you doing, Marshall, today?
I'm great, and yourself?
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
and hopefully you're going to be part of the Enlace team next semester, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get right into the action. What were your reactions about the Super Bowl that just happened, the victory of Kansas City?
Well, it was a really, really great game. Kansas City did come back, and they had a great comeback in the fourth quarter, down 10 points, and they really came out 21 unanswered points like they had been doing throughout the playoffs. However, San Francisco blew this game. They went away from doing what had gotten them all the way through the playoffs to the Super Bowl, which was running the ball. Mm-hmm. They tried to give it to Jimmy Garoppolo, have him throw, even though he was hot for a certain period of time. Mm-hmm. But in the end, he couldn't make some throws, like that last throw to Emmanuel Sanders. He overthrew him.
Right, and that would have sealed up the game for them too.
Right, absolutely, that would have sealed it. And ultimately, Kyle Shanahan lost another Super Bowl.
So you do think that it was more that San Francisco blew the game more than Kansas City winning the game at the end, right?
Absolutely. I give Kansas City their props, absolutely. But Kyle Shanahan has to know that you lost to Tom Brady when you were in Atlanta.
That's right, the second time that he blows the lead in the Super Bowl.
You lost to Tom Brady, you're down 28-3, and you would have thought, hey, okay, maybe now he'll run some clock, run the ball instead of trying to throw it. Because after Mahomes threw his second interception, which is very uncanny for him to do, Kyle should have had his team run the football, run some more clock down. That ensuing possession, they nearly ran off 45 seconds from the clock. So
this was more of a validation for Kansas City, and then the future for San Francisco is kind of like up in the air. That's the way I see it. I don't know if you see it the same way, because Kansas City, the second year that they proved their greatness, but San Francisco will see what it is next year. What do you think?
I think that kind of like how the Los Angeles Rams were the year before. I think San Francisco was their only time going to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team next year. I don't think they'll get back unless they upgrade from the quarterback situation and maybe even from getting a new coach. So we will see going forward.
Thank you, Marshall, so much for coming here.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll have you again sometime soon.
Yes, thank you very much.
Bueno, y cuando regresemos de comerciales tenemos a David Rojas con lo mejor del entretenimiento en una nueva edición de A la Carta.
Planning on going to the circus? You'll want to leave the kids at home for this one. R-rated circus rolls through San Antonio this past weekend, and here's a look at the sold-out performance.
Italian-based Paranormal Circus set up in Ingram Park Mall's parking lot over the weekend, bringing in a curious, like-minded crowd. Attendees were able to enjoy tons of horror-themed activities like face painting, scary souvenirs, novelty cars, and a food truck. They were also able to participate in a spooky photo opportunity with some of the performers during intermission. One of the dancers, Olivia Matisse, tells us a little bit about the show.
Because generally people even sometimes don't want to come to our circus because they think it's scary, but really the only part that is getting your blood going is our haunted house, which is where you'll hear your screams. But after that, once you get to your seats, our show is not intended to be scary. It's more theatrical, and we have a lot of magic involved.
Although the show is intended to be thrilling, the performers also want to make you laugh. Audience members are pulled onto stage throughout the show and participate in a lot of the act. Attendees Joanne Johnson and Madison Rhodes tell us their favorite thing about horror.
Always the adrenaline, yeah.
When it's over and I'm not scared anymore.
So catch these mysterious and thrilling performers while they're still on tour. You can find tour dates on their website at paranormalcirque.com. And for Enlace, this is Jessica Lann and Nancy Davies.
The San Antonio community mourns the loss of a local drag queen who has left an impact across the state and beyond. Armando Villarreal brings us more on the life of Sweet Savage.
Sweet Savage!
Freddie Cortez, an award-winning drag performer also known as Sweet Savage, has died at the age of 58 on January 21st. The Cortez family held a memorial with friends and fans to celebrate the life and career of Sweet Savage on February 2nd. Cortez was born and raised in north of McAllen in Edinburgh, Texas, where he debuted Sweet Savage at the age of 17 while attending high school.
As you can see today, he impacted a lot of lives. A lot of people shared so many loving stories about our brother that we didn't know very much about him. He left our home when he was 17 years old, and he's been a part of San Antonio and surrounding areas for many, many years.
Cortez moved to San Antonio where his drag career took off.
He was just the most beautiful spirit. To know him was to know one of God's most special children. He just shared so much with everyone, and everyone who knew him and loved him.
Savage was known for her Cher impression and has won a long list of pageant titles over the years, including Miss Gay San Antonio America 1986, Miss Gay US of A 1993, Miss Texas Continental Elite 2016, and many other titles.
She had a huge impact on everybody because she had this infectious love for what she did, and it showed on stage. So anyone who was a performer or someone who just enjoyed the drag shows were just in awe with her. You know, she was one of the few entertainers who just danced with their soul and their heart and just took over the whole stage.
Drag performers at the Heat nightclub hosted a tribute show for Sweet Savage on January 31st. The Heat was Savage's home bar, and various queens performed Savage's favorite music. The Cortez family asked to honor Freddie's memory by making a random act of kindness for an animal or a person in need. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
And And now for upcoming movies and the latest entertainment news, with David Rojas brings us A la Carta.
Este fin de semana DC estrena nueva película y Disney sigue siendo de las suyas. Esto y más te cuento en esta edición de A la Carta. Después del gran éxito que tuvo Margot Robbie con la película de Suicide Squad, parece que DC se enamoró de su trabajo. Este fin de semana llega a cines Birds of Prey, donde después de romper su lazo amoroso con el Joker, Harley Quinn se une a un grupo de supervillanos para salvar a una niña que está en peligro de caer en manos de un amo criminal. Birds of Prey está en cines este fin de semana y está clasificada R.
What? You are so cool.
Y pues Disney sigue soltando la feria. Ahora Disney compró los derechos del famoso musical de Broadway, Hamilton, por un total de $75 millones. Esto para poder arrancar con la producción de una película sobre este musical. Cuéntenme si les parece buena idea producir este musical para la pantalla grande. Taquilleros, surgen rumores de un posible remake de Mars Attack. Warner Bros. Podría empezar el rodaje de la famosa película noventera de Tim Burton. En lo personal soy fan de esta película, aunque estaba terriblemente hecha. Creo que me gustaría verla adaptada con el tiempo actual. Díganme, ¿les gustaría ver este remake? Habemos trailers nuevos. Esta semana se estrenó el primer trailer de Spyro, reboot de la saga de Saw. También el nuevo trailer de la nueva película de The Minions: The Rise of Gru. Para ver estos trailers, síganme a través de las redes sociales. Es domingo de Oscars y estuvimos pronosticando 10 categorías de las cuales serán premiadas. Para ver el video completo, asegúrate de ir a nuestro canal de YouTube y suscribirte.
I liked the Joker movie. It was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good movie.
Bueno, eso fue todo por hoy y recuerde que si me quieres seguir a través de mis redes sociales, síganme a través de @210taquillando. Hasta la próxima.
Thank you for joining us for another edition of Enlace. We'll see you next week.